I too am an independent, but I've told my audience I'm voting for Trump. You're able, notwithstanding coming from the left, to see the truth about the MAGA movement. And you put out, I think, the best ad I've seen about MAGA since it was born. I've had many of my friends who consider themselves MAGA forward it to me so that we would talk about it. And it's absolutely beautiful. Here is part of it, the MAGA People, SOT 33.
Across the Atlantic in the North American country of the United States lies a fascinating and often misunderstood collective. From its northeastern cities to its midwestern towns to its expansive west, this courageous group of individuals are most notably known for their unwavering patriotism. Join us as we explore the fascinating world of the MAGA people. Contrary to what we had been told, we found the MAGA people to be warm, loving, and even rather cheeky at times. As we spent time with the MAGA people, we learned that their mantra, "Make America Great Again," is an optimistic belief that the United States will once again prosper by returning to its founding principles of a government by and for the people.
It's quite brilliant, Nicole. Like the 1950s feel of like foreign space alien has come down to America and investigated this odd group, and so absolutely lovely. So why? And you're doing a series of these ads, and they're all this quality and this effective. So why did you get behind that? Like, how did that come to you?
Yeah, it was very organic. We didn't hire a sophisticated team at all. We have one editor that we work with.
What?
Each of those films cost about $7,000 to produce.
Amazing.
That one and TDS were my original idea. And it's in part just comes from a place within my own being of trying to figure it out and explain my own bias. You have to understand, I was fully deep in the Kool-Aid of the left-wing media and believed everything they were telling me about MAGA being a domestic terrorist organization. And the programming was so deep, Megyn, that I would see someone with that MAGA cap on and I would feel tension and fear inside. And this is very true for many of those who are still stuck in that mindset and stuck in that programming. And we attempted a few approaches to the Who Are the MAGA People, or what is MAGA? And none of them, a lot of them were like very serious. Some of them were, they didn't sway me. So I needed something that was going to engage someone from my background and was going to deliver a gentle message, and was going to deliver it in a way that felt truthful. And so when we made this one, it was very much about these BBC and investigative anthropological studies of these other people. Because that's what's happened in America, is that we've been so divided that we're almost different clans. We have to try to figure out how to understand each other in narratives that our consciousness has seen before. And so these BBC anthropology trips seemed like a really great way of helping us rediscover one another here in America.
So good. It's so well done. You referenced TDS. I think our audience knows that stands for Trump Derangement Syndrome, which is a real thing. And that one's excellent too. Here's a bit of that in SOT 31.
Are you or your loved ones suffering from illnesses such as TDS, also known as Trump Derangement Syndrome? Do you dismiss or deny the current issues facing our country, such as historic inflation, illegal immigration, corporate corruption, World War III escalations, and the chronic disease epidemic? Are you willing to elect someone who was the least popular vice president in modern history and who offers no policy or vision for America simply because your brain keeps telling you anyone but Trump? If so, you might be struggling from TDS. Introducing Independence. Independence allows you the freedom to finally think independently once again.
So good. So do these drop only on YouTube? And how can we get these in front of all of your California neighbors?
So interestingly, TDS went super viral in the first 48 hours and has now been viewed close to 90 million times.
Wow.
And then the Who is the MAGA Peoples didn't go quite as viral, but people used it to send to their family members or friends or colleagues. And they said, look, I know you think MAGA is a domestic terrorist organization, but just take 2 minutes of your day and watch this video because this is my understanding of who MAGA is. And that's been really heartening for me to hear the feedback on, because that really was the intention of these short videos, just something that, would really tickle people's humor and curiosity, and create a forum for having open conversation with one another again, because it is so divided. We're working on one right now, which is really a love letter from my heart to moms and families out there, and to grandparents, because boomers are really hard to reach in this country. Liberal boomers are some of the most stubborn when it comes to changing their opinion on Donald Trump. They're hooked to legacy media. I call it boomer news.
Right. That's good.
And, this one, it's called the Dear Dad ad. And it's a family story. It's my family story of my sister-in-law trying to communicate with her dad, who's a never Trumper. They're in Arizona. And her son, little boy, Jack, was severely vaccine injured and almost passed away. And this was a clear case of vaccine injury. So Dear Dad is just this gut-wrenching letter she wrote that we're going to try to get out there and help people understand that, this is one election cycle, but we've got bigger battles to fight right now. We've got to uncover the depths of the corruption. And this is not vindictive. This is not a vindictive journey. We're not trying to, throw anyone in prison for the rest of their life, but we want freedom. We want our liberty back. We want honest health care. We want our children protected. We don't want to see any more of these 1.5-year-old, 2.5-year-old babies struggling to breathe on ventilators.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the affinity for RFK Jr. becomes obvious when you get to this part of your story. Imagine waking up one day to find out your home no longer belongs to you, that someone somewhere has stolen your property right out from under you. It sounds unthinkable, but it is a sad reality for some American homeowners and a risk for anyone that owns property. House stealing, that's what the FBI calls it. It's a form of real estate fraud where scammers leverage loopholes in the system to fraudulently transfer your home's title into their name. Then they take out loans against your property or even sell it behind your back. By the time you find out, the scammer's long gone, leaving you, the legitimate homeowner, to clean up the mess. But right now, triple lock protection is available through HomeTitleLock.com, offering 24/7 title monitoring, alerts, and restoration services. You can sign up today at HomeTitleLock.com and use promo code Megyn for 30 days of protection for free and a comprehensive title scan to make sure you are not already a victim. That's promo code Megyn and HomeTitleLock.com or by using the link below. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.